I'm Aletha.
I'm Latoya.
And this is The Wine Effect.
All right.
Thank y'all so much for your continued support. So please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, please. We want to keep coming back week after week with content for y'all. So please make sure you do that for us.
And again, here we are again for The Wine Effect, for the wine of the day.
Mm-hmm.
We have Dolce or Rosso.
Yes, and this is going to be my first time trying it.
Yeah, we actually got this when it was my birthday celebration, and she didn't get to try it. I did get to try it, and it was one of my faves, so we're going to try it. And I still like it.
That is really
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too sweet. It's got a little bubbly in it because I always like that about sweet wines. It has a little bubbly, fizzy, but it's not too much.
Alcohol, yeah, 5%.
5%. It's good, y'all. The flavor is really good.
Yeah,
it's really good. So, if you into it, try it. Bring it back with you when you watch the next episode.
That's right.
So, we're going to jump into the episode and the topic of this week. When is it okay to say no? For me, that's really hard. If you have watched the previous episodes, I have spoke on being a people pleaser and working through that as I, continue to figure out what's best for me and what's healthy for me. So I would say it's hard for me because I associate saying no with meaning I don't care. But I've had to realize that that doesn't mean that I don't per se care when I say no. I could be saying no because maybe I'm not feeling the best, or maybe I know I can't mentally be there at 100%, or I can't commit to something, or maybe the intent is not with me really wanting to help, but I'm just saying yes because I don't want to, let that person down. So at the end of the day, that's not really a good place to be in if I'm going to always say yes. So it is okay to say no. I'm learning. What about you?
I feel like it's the delivery of the no sometimes.
Yes.
For me, I'm good. Watch. No. So I'm good with saying no, but it also really depends on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we want to make sure to know that no is not always negative.
And maybe I think that's
No,
what
it's
I
not
take from
negative.
it.
Yeah.
I always feel like no was negative. So
Yeah.
it was like, I don't want to be a negative person. I want to always seem like I'm helpful. I'm always here and I'm positive. But
And sometimes you don't want to say no, especially in a relationship, because
Yeah.
you're trying to diffuse a situation.
Yes.
And you just want to agree, and you take it as being passive.
yes.
But you want to keep, drama down. So
Right.
saying no, but like, let me go ahead and just let me try, even though I really don't want to do it.
Yes. And that's what I mean by the intent. What is the intent behind you saying yes or no? Is it in a good place, or are you doing it for selfish reasons, or are you doing it for reasons that aren't healthy? What would you say is a situation you've seen that play out in a friendship? Is that the same for you? Is it still easy for you to say no depending on the situation, or does that kind of change?
I'm gonna be real. It depends on the friend.
Okay.
And the reason why I say it depends on the friend, you know your friends.
Right.
You have friends for different situations.
Right.
You have that friend that if you say no, they may keep on asking until you say yes.
True.
And then you have
True.
the ones that you say no, and they say, well, why no? And you talk about the no.
Right.
Then you have the ones be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it just really depends on that friend. If it's a situation that I feel like it's something that is in a need, and I have it, of course, because as I said before, I'm a giver.
Right.
The no is not going to be a no.
Right.
But if it's something that I'm uncomfortable with, and you know better, and I know you know better,
Right.
I'm going to say, no.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just saying, no. We going to say no.
That's true. Okay. That's a good point you're making with in the friendship, and it does depend on the person. You have to know how they're going to respond to that. And then I think to take it a step further, maybe I also have an issue with saying no because I don't want to have to explain myself.
You shouldn't have to.
Exactly.
You shouldn't have
You
to.
shouldn't have to
No
explain
means no.
yourself. Right.
Yeah.
But I think that part of it also makes me uncomfortable because then I feel like my back is up against the wall. So I'm working on that, y'all.
But
I'm
why?
working on
But
that.
why do you feel that way?
Because then I'm more concerned about hurting that person's feelings.
Okay.
I'm more
People
concerned how,
Makes
that's
sense.
what goes with being
Yeah.
a people pleaser.
Yeah.
You're more concerned how that person is going to respond and then how are they going to perceive you? What if you're saying no for a healthy reason and then they're just like, oh, so you just don't want to help me.
Mm-hmm.
But then what if then I feel the need to go and explain, well, I'm saying no because what if it's I lost somebody the other day, or maybe today, I got some bad news and I'm just not, and then it's just like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So you just never know how that person could perceive. I'm always more concerned how that other person is going to perceive it and if their feelings are going to be hurt versus taking care of myself first. So that's where I'm learning that you just have to have that balance, and it is okay to say no.
Well, I didn't learn no overnight. I used to be a yes person all the time,
Okay.
and I've learned through experiences being hurt,
Right.
getting my feelings hurt a lot by saying yes so much, getting slapped on the back of the head and hitting a brick wall a couple times. You learn through your choices, through your journey. You
Right.
learn how to say no,
Right.
and you have to learn how to be okay with the word no.
Yeah, that's true. You have
Yeah.
to be comfortable.
Because I am still a people pleaser to a point,
Mhm.
but not to the point where I don't per se care at all. If you don't like me, I'm not gonna lose any sleep.
There you have it.
Okay? Because you don't pay my bills.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So it is what it is. Love me where I am,
Right.
or you not for me.
Right.
And then that's where I am as far as my no.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I would take it a step far as in relationships. When I'm talking about with your significant other
Right.
and those type of relationships, you do have to be comfortable with that. And I will say from my personal experience, because let's say you say yes and now you're doing it and you got a whole attitude and you resentful because you said yes when you really wanted to say no.
Well, all you had to do was just say no.
So personally, I've been in those situations where I said yes and I did not really want to do it, and then I had an attitude doing it, and I had to think about it. It's not that person's fault. That my significant other had to tell me, Malika, you could have just said no, and I'm like, yeah, just put the responsibility back on me. And yeah, I don't want to hear that in the moment if I'm being honest, but it was ultimately my decision.
But then you go from that no to compromise. You see?
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about a relationship.
Yes.
If you want to, you don't want to per se always say no right then.
Right,
You want
right.
to try to compromise, but when you compromise all the time, then it becomes unhealthy.
Right. Right.
Because saying no is going to cause an issue.
Yeah.
Because of course, if I asked you, why are you telling me no?
Right. So fine line. That's why I
Yeah.
say you have to have that balance.
Again, communication.
Yep. It's gonna always be
Always
number
gonna
one.
come back to communication.
Always.
Yeah.
So how do we see this playing out in the professional world, in your work life? I would say you taught me that. When to say no, like regardless of who's telling me or asking me to do something, if it is not within policy, maybe it is putting me in a situation that could, come back on me. So I learned that from you. It don't matter who's telling you or asking you to do something. If it's not within reason, or it's not policy, or it's not correct or morally correct, then it's okay to say no. So I would say I did take that from you professionally.
Learning in the corporate world, I have learned that when you say yes all the time, they take advantage of it. Especially because when we are working, we have to be 5 times smarter, 5 times quicker, 20 times better.
Right.
So we want to say yes to get things done, but then we get overwhelmed, and guess who's out the door? We are.
That's true.
So you have to learn how to be nice, nasty, very professional, learn it well. You have to learn how to say no.
That's true.
And it's not just saying, no, I'm not going to do it.
Right. Right.
But give a little bit of pushback professionally.
Right.
But you also have to cover thine own self. And that goes with saying no, nice, nasty.
Look, that might be a wine of fed commandment right there.
That's a drink, actually.
You have to cover thyself. So, yes, we see these things play out all the time in the workplace, and it's a fine balance.
Yeah.
You have to know how to do that gracefully. And I think that's what kind of gives you a one-up, that makes you one step ahead. You just have to know where you stand in that situation and when it's okay to say no. And also just make sure, sometimes you just make sure you got a little reinforcement behind you. If you know you got that type of supervisor or coach or somebody that can back you, make sure you just got them in your back pocket. Like, hey, this is what's going on. This is how I'm planning to respond. Just in the event that it causes an issue, I might need you to have my back and step in. Because sometimes we need that.
Power. My first thing I always say, knowledge is power.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so what about family? Saying no to family. See, I have a brother. And I'm the baby, but you know, I love my brother. I love my mother. And so the words no for me, when I said very easy to say no. When it comes to family, I don't say no at all. Family is like a real big part of me. I'm really a family person, and if I know I can do it, whether I probably can't do it, I figure out how to do it, and no is hard for me. That is a piece that is hard for me with family.
So have you ever just like sat there and thought about, so why is that so different when it comes to family versus your friends versus, you know, your other relationships, your work? What makes it so much more different with family?
Because I care about what they think of me, how they feel. Because I can be on the phone like, I know I'm gonna say no, I'm not gonna do it, I'm gonna say no, and then I talk to them and be like, yeah, I'm do it, it's okay. I don't know, it's something about family and the way they see me, and I feel like I have to be on point for them all the time, even though I'm the baby of the family. I just feel like I have to be just there for everything.
That's true. That's true. I agree with that as well. I agree. It is hard. Even like you said, even you like, okay, I'm gonna go into the situation and I'm just gonna be like, I'm not able to do that. And it's just something like, but what if it's the one time that they need me? Or, you know, you just start to play out those different scenarios too in your head. What if they needed me and like something dramatic happens and I wasn't there? You know, I think that would just like tear you apart if something happens. So it is different when it comes to family.
Absolutely.
But then we have to know, are we helping the situation or are we hurting the situation by doing that? And sometimes you are hurting the situation by continuing to say yes, regardless of who that person is.
Enabling that situation.
Yes. And then that means they're also going to keep coming back because they know you're not going to say no. So
something
that's
to think about. That is something to think about.
So it is a different dynamic.
I'm gonna work on it.
You just don't think about that because, like you said, you might not care about what other people think about you and how, you know what I'm saying? You're saying you're comfortable saying no there, but it's different with that family. You know, they might hold you in a high regard, you know, because you've done great things and the things that you're able to do and contribute and all like that. So it means a lot more when it comes to family.
It means a lot more.
That's true. That's true. So I can agree with that. And even, I would say personally for me, even if I don't necessarily agree with them continuing to come to me, but then it's like, but would I want them to go do other things maybe that I wouldn't agree with, or, you know, so it is hard to say no to family, you know. And even if you've been burned by family, sometimes that's still hard to say no, even though you know, well, they just don't got this together. They ain't got it together.
Maybe just this one more time.
Right. Maybe they'll get it together.
They'll get it next time. This next time, I'm going to just do it.
So you fall into that too, just because of caring for that person. But I think that goes back to what you're saying. That's another way that they can take advantage of you. That's not just in the workplace, but through friendships.
It's not. Absolutely.
It could come from family. At the family level.
And normally it's family that does it first to you.
True. That's where you learn.
Yeah, that's where you learn. Really. It's where you learn.
That's very true. That's very true. So we learn from family first, and we know it's okay to say no, even to your family. It's okay.
Practice.
Okay. No. Right. So it's okay, y'all. That's true.
Yeah.
So that was what we wanted to bring to y'all today. Please drop some comments down. How do you feel about saying no?
Yeah.
Does it make you uncomfortable? Are you very comfortable? Because that can vary depending on your personality and also depending on the things that you've gone through. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to give you the book of the week. If you guys have not read Gabrielle Union's book here. We're going to need more wine. Yes, more wine.
Yep.
But it was really good. I think I may have heard her also doing an interview, and this is what encouraged me to read this book. I do a lot of that, y'all. I'll probably listen to like different podcasts, different, just other YouTube shows or just other shows on TV, and when they suggest just different books that can just kind of give me just some information, and you never know what you can learn from another Black woman as well. And it was just really good just to learn about her journey, everything that she's been through, and I'm sure a lot of people know now because she's very public and open about it. So it was a really good read just to hear her journey. Just because she has money and fame doesn't mean that you still don't have things going on up under the layer of what you're seeing in the spotlight. So great read, y'all check that out. LaToya, what you got for us for a
Listen,
TV show
I
movie?
struggled. I really struggled this time because I watched so many movies. I watched series, I watched shows. But because the topic that we're doing today, I'm going to tell you Dirty John. Dirty John is on Netflix. And so I just won't spoil it. It's basically where she's trying to find love and she gets with a person and just all goes wrong and she just didn't know how to say no. She didn't know how to say no at all. She was just blind. She was just love. It was just all in the air, just for her. Just for her.
Sound like it
so check it out. It was. You will look at it and be like, girl, you dumb. You don't see that? But watch, just give it a chance. It was pretty good. I mean, I won't give it like an A+, but it was true events.
Okay.
So they kind of dramatize it a little bit more, but it is based on true events.
Okay. We're going to have to check that out. And then, look how that tied into our topic for today. That
lady
didn't know how to say no.
She needed to learn, though.
So we thank y'all again for tuning in. Like I said, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so we can keep bringing you content. If y'all have any wines to suggest, please provide us some more suggestions.
We like
because
wine.
We just want to explore our palates and see what else we like.
Or tequila.
Okay?
Either one.
Well, look at us. A whole tequila.
I had to put it in.
And as y'all see, I'm not backing that comment up because I don't care for tequila. So I'm going to stick to my wine. Y'all make sure y'all catch us next time.
All right. Bye.
Ooh, yeah. Tune into Melita and LaToya on the wine effect. Tune into Melita and LaToya on the wine effect. Tune in to see how we be talking. I know you wanna see how we be walking. I know you'll see some things that you don't know. We gon' talk about how we can all grow. I know you wanna see how we be doing it. We can show you things you didn't notice. It's time to level up like on some bullshit. Cause can't nobody do it better than us chicks. We wanna be a better person, woman.